here is where we introduce our bonus concept of back chaining. This is how we're going to create a behavior chain. First up, we need to know what is a behavior chain. A behavior chain is a series of behaviors that we string together. This will help with performances. Now that we know what a behavior chain is, we need to know what is a back chain. Well, first you're going to write the steps in order. So you can imagine your sequence of behaviors in a particular order, and then you're going to flip them backwards, flip them right on their head. The third step is that you're going to reward the last step the most times and begin chaining the previous steps onto that behavior. This is like the doggy version of the 12 days of Christmas. In continuing on with our 12 days of Christmas theme, it was really helpful for me to think of the treat at the end as a partridge treat, like partridge in a pear tree. Actually, my instructor that taught me this brought in partridge treats so that we really could hammer in that idea. So in order, our little routine or our performance will be go through the hoop, get in the box, and sit down. Those are our three behaviors that we want to chain together in that order. And then, of course, we would close out with a treat. In this case, we're thinking of that as a partridge treat to help with the partridge in the pear tree. So, verse one of our little 12 Days of Christmas song would be give your dog a partridge treat. Verse two is sit down, partridge treat. Verse three, get in a box, sit down, partridge treat. Verse four, hoop, box, sit, partridge treat. This will make sense in a little bit, so if you're a little confused now, it's okay. A valid question you might have is why use back chaining at all? Why not just chain the behaviors together in the order we want them? And the reason for this is that backchaining makes the cues themselves into rewards. They're almost like mini markers. So as the dog does the correct behavior, we give them the next behavior in the chain as a mini marker that they're headed in the right direction. And it builds enthusiasm. So in traditional chaining, where we would chain the behaviors in order, enthusiasm dies and frustration builds as you get further and further in your chain. But in back chaining, each link in the chain builds anticipation towards the treat.